This video is sponsored by porkbun.com.
Porkbun!
We did it! We actually did it! I gotta tell everyone! Boss! Boss! We did it! We did it! We did it! Sir Disney! Sir Pixar! Hello? We did it! We hit 1 billion! Sir! We did it! We're back! We hit $1 billion! We're #1 worldwide! We're the highest grossing animated movie of all time! Sir, we're back! Finally! After all these years, we've been outclassed, outperformed, and outmaneuvered by basically everyone. But today, we finally got to prove them wrong. They all counted us out. But no, we never gave up. We can finally show them, no, the world, that we can still create amazing stories and heartwarming lessons if we just banded together and believe we can finally become who we once were. A studio built on love, family, and unity. Now we know that this is our priority.
We fired you 2 weeks ago.
Inside Out 2 is a sequel to the 2015 Pixar hit Inside Out. Coincidentally, after the first movie being released 9 years ago, Inside Out 2 is Pixar's 9th ever sequel, and it won't be the last. Oh good lord. So what exactly is Inside Out 2 all about? Well, taking place inside of a young girl's mind, Joy and a couple of friends are in a race against time as they try to find their way back to headquarters and stop the remaining emotions from taking over and potentially ruining Riley. Wait a minute. Oh, I was reading the summary of the first Inside Out movie. Let me try again. Taking place inside of a young girl's mind, Joy and a couple of friends are in a race against time as they try to find their way back to headquarters and stop the remaining emotions from taking over and potentially ruining Riley. Jesus. Sorry, let me try again. There it is. Our heroes find themselves kicked out of headquarters caused by a rogue emotion. And without Joy, the other emotions struggle to keep Riley safe. And so it's up to the main characters to come up with a wild, crazy, and convoluted plan to head back to headquarters. It's the same fucking thing. $1 billion, everybody. Nah, I'm just kidding, the movie's pretty good. Yep, I liked it. Who would have thought? Turns out if you take your time and actually build off the story of your sequel's predecessor, you can churn out an actual good movie. Crazy concept, right? Shocker, isn't it, Kung Fu Panda 4? Now, the movie is pretty good, but a lot of people really thought an Inside Out sequel wouldn't really work, and I'm ashamed to admit that I was one of those people, but I am happy to note that Disney and Pixar proved me wrong. Like an idiot, I completely glossed over Inside Out's overall potential. So I'm giving my props here. They did the smartest move and actually based these movies according to specific phases of Riley's life. The first movie focusing on her as a kid, the second one focusing on her as a teen, and I would assume the next one follows her well throughout her as a young adult. Yes, there's gonna be a third movie. Are you kidding me? Bro, they got $1 billion off of a sequel. I am 100% sure there's gonna be another Inside Out, or probably 2 more to be accurate, because apparently trilogies aren't a thing anymore and the respect for the art has been long gone and dead. But you heard right. Praise for its fun characters, smart storytelling, and emotional intelligence, Inside Out 2 hit all green all throughout the board. From landing high praise from critics and audiences to breaking box office records by raking in a whopping $1.666 billion worldwide, overtaking The Lion King remake as the highest grossing animated film of all time. Hell yeah, take that, Lion Piss, fuck you! Never try to compare yourself from the original again. standing on a 91% certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. This now begs the question, was it really that good though? Whoops, let me elaborate. I think it's dumb to simply ask if the movie was good or not. It is. But was it $1.66 billion good? Because let's be real here, the sequel to Inside Out holding the record for the fastest grossing animated film of all time. It's such an unexpected and weird movie to hold such a title. But hey, you know what? To each their own. So let's go ahead and take a look. Does Inside Out deserve their spot at number 1? Or was it all a fluke that got carried by all the hype? Well, let's find out. This is Disney and Pixar's Inside Out 2. But before that, here's a word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by porkbun.com. Need a domain? When building your website, you would need a reliable, easy, and affordable partner to help you manage the ownership of your website's domain name. And that's where porkbun.com comes into play. Porkbun is an authorized domain name registrar that helps you and your website reserve, maintain, and register unique web addresses used to identify and access websites. Porkbun offers more than 500 domain extensions covering everything from .com and .pro to .dev and .xyz. They've got the best pricing on majority of their domains, so you can grab the perfect domain for your website without breaking the bank. Plus, every domain name at Porkbun comes with tons of freebies like SSL certificates, URL forwarding, and so much more. Because why pay for things that should be free, right? And if you ever need help, their 5-star support team is available 365 days a year. In fact, Porkbun is the best rated registrar out there with more authentic 5-star reviews from real customers than any other registrar. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description down below and get $1 off your next domain name from Porkbun by using the code beanie and the bun. Oh, that is adorable. Again, click the link in the description down below and get $1 off your next domain name from Porkbun by using the code beanie and the bun. And thanks again to Porkbun for sponsoring this video. The movie begins by welcoming back the main character of our main characters, Riley, who is now 13. For short, she is now the devil. Stay away. No jokes, no pranks, no teasing. You will regret it immediately. Guy with a sister talking here. It was not a good time. We then get reintroduced to Riley's emotions. We have joy, sadness, anger, disgust, and fear. And we get a quick recap on what has happened in the past few years. So here's the first thing I want to talk about. I like how the movie slowly eases you back to Riley's life without slowing down the pace. With Joy narrating, she manages to quickly breeze through the exposition without really dragging it out. They get to inform the audience that Riley's 13, that she's great at hockey, and that her friends play a much more important role in her emotional state. Take note of that because it plays a huge part later in the movie. Also, during the exposition dump, Joy introduces us to something new that developed inside Riley's mind called the belief system.
I'm a good person.
And I'll be completely honest, I have no idea how it works. They kinda explain to the audience that her emotions lead to her making memories, and those memories tend to become beliefs. But 2 out of the 3 beliefs they showed in the recap weren't really beliefs, but more so opinions. Which, last I checked, opinions and beliefs are 2 completely different things, so make it make sense.
Homework should be illegal. Get Up and Glow is the best band ever. I'm a really good friend.
Like, if the belief system can form roots from thoughts like Group A is the best band ever, does that really make it a belief or simply an opinion on something? And if it is a belief, then what happens when she starts to get sick of that band? Does the root just simply expire and disappear? What happens to the memory? And what do they do if Riley wants to remember a memory but it's down in the belief system? It's not in long term anymore, so you can't recall it back to headquarters like usual. Why am I nitpicking a movie about a teenager being controlled by fuzzy plush dolls? I don't fucking know. I'm a fucking idiot. Why are you listening to me? But anyways, yeah, snobbing aside, another thing I love to touch on in this movie is their world building. And I say that in a good and bad way. But let's put a pin on that because for now,
Woo! The 3 of you were impressive.
Thanks, Coach Roberts.
Every year I do a 3-day skills camp. I'd love for you girls to come.
they accept, and this is where the story takes off. And And since this is a sequel, what better way to see just how much Joy has grown from the first movie from controlling and manipulating Riley's memories than seeing Joy in this movie control and manipulate Riley's memories.
This is for all those memories that belong in the back of the mind. Like this penalty one. We're not gonna think about that right now. Woo!
$1 billion, everybody! Nah, in all seriousness though, aside from the whole back of the mind tube thing that she made up, I would say I like how natural and obvious Joy's character growth drew over and stuck out in this movie. Hell, contrary to other reviewers, I honestly thought the whole back of the mind idea still shows a decent understanding from Joy in protecting Riley, all while not disregarding the other emotions. You can even tell that she's less uptight and much more inclusive to the other emotions driving the control panel, especially with sadness. And I like it. I like how much of a minor tweak from Joy's actions makes such a big impact for her and everyone as a character. Speaking of which, honey, wake up! Joy is about to take us to see the belief system! Oh hey look, it's Bing Bong.
Mom and Dad are proud of me.
An oldie but a goodie.
The Earth is 100% flat.
Oh, what a kicker. Looks like someone's been paying for Twitter. Everything seemed to be all rainbows and sunshine until the very next day, the gang suddenly find their headquarters being demolished and renovated to, quote, make room for the others. Jesus Christ, motherfucker, what the fuck was that? Are you seriously just gonna kill Joy like that? That is way beyond labor incompetence, my guy. Because of Riley just hitting puberty, we're introduced to a batch of new emotions. We have anxiety, envy, embarrassment, and ennui. We also have nostalgia, but we don't really get to see her much in this movie. Probably because Disney is busy shoving her up in every single project they'll be making for the next 10 years. But surely nostalgia won't bite us in the ass and force Disney to do something stupid like, oh I don't know, recasting an actor that already walked away from their franchise with grace by offering them $100 million a pop, right?
Oh, god damn it.
Fast forward a little while later and Riley finds out that her friends won't be going to the same high school as her, which in return welcomes anxiety.
Whoa, are you okay? Everybody act regular. It's Valentina Ortiz.
We gotta say something.
And this is where we get to see the new emotions displayed there. Capabilities. And let me just say, it's a tough watch.
You want to make the team? I can join Team Redhead too. Yeah.
Oh my god, kill me now. Just call me when the scene is over. I can't take the secondhand embarrassment. Later on, Riley is essentially off to a super rocky start at camp. So now it's up to anxiety to make up lost ground and fix the problem. Unfortunately, anxiety will start to go overboard and would actually throw away Riley's sense of self. Joy and the OG emotions don't approve of anxiety's methods though, but before they can do anything about it, the new emotions would overpower them, getting them kicked out of headquarters and off to the vault.
How dare you, madam?
You can't just bottle us up. Oh, that's a great idea.
Ha! Get it? Bottle, as in bottled up emotions. That would have been really clever and funny if you actually went ahead and used a fucking bottle. Also, does anyone have any intel if Pixar went ahead and made some characters inside a jar themed merchandises? And if so, is it too late to stop them? So as I said, the group will be sent to Riley's vault, the place where her mind keeps all her secrets. And this part was pretty nice. They introduced some characters that genuinely got some laughs out of me. We have a character that's entirely made out of 2D named Bluefy, another character that looks like he came out of a PS2 game, and finally, this big dude who's probably in Megamind 2. They helped them escape the vault, in the dumbest way mind you, and now our crew is off to find Riley's sense of self way at the back of her mind. Little do they know, a lot has changed since the last time Joy stepped out of headquarters.
Where are you going?
Back to headquarters.
We can't go back without her sense of self.
We can't take the tube back, Joy. Someone has to be at the console to recall us.
Or, hear me out, we go back to headquarters, knock out embarrassment, use the tube to get to the back of Riley's mind, grab her sense of self, use the tube again to get back to headquarters, and throw anxiety into the pit. Bada bing bada boom, everyone's happy, the end. And here is the part of the movie where I felt like it went a bit stagnant. Let me explain. Basically, the movie follows two plots. The first one follows Joy and the gang trying to find the back of Riley's mind, retrieve her sense of self, and find their way back to headquarters. Which I'm not really a fan of. Yeah, sorry, but compared to the first movie, their adventure just feels a bit empty. Nothing much during their trip had me that invested. I was still following, but I honestly expected more stuff, you know?
You know how hard it is to stay positive all the time when all you folks do is complain, complain, complain. Jiminy mother loving toaster strudel.
Meanwhile, the other plot line follows anxiety and the new emotions in control, slowly ruining Riley. They do this by making her do some dumb shit like lying, being an asshole, and all that jazz. But now, remember when I said that one of the things I wanted to talk about this movie was their world building? Yeah, well, let's start off with the good. I absolutely love the addition of the belief system. I think it's a clever way in making Riley more complex, and it further expands our main character's world that is Riley's mind. But unfortunately, that's about it. That's about as far as it goes in terms of world building here, which is kind of disappointing, not gonna lie, because a good chunk of the movie is Joy and the gang running across Riley's mind. Apart from the vault, there was literally nothing creative or new that was explored. They even get back to Imagination Land, but then it turns out anxiety got total control over it, turning it into her own overthinking, nightmare-making studio.
Oh no, they're using Riley's imagination against her.
Ironically enough, they made the Nightmare Studio look exactly like an animation studio full of animators strictly forbidden to show anything positive or fun. Reminds me of a certain multi-million-dollar studio, don't you think?
Who is sending all of this positive? Joy, I know you're in there.
Jesus Christ, that is fucking terrifying. So with all this, Riley slowly starts to lose her shit as anxiety forces her to basically abandon everything she cares for, all for the sake of making varsity.
All right, welcome to our team, Michigan.
Wow. What a dick. Oh, I'm not kidding. Riley is so much of a dick in this movie, it's hilarious. She does a lot of things that are just so out of pocket, you just can't help but just squint your eyes and embrace the cringe. Kinda borderlining her character to be, dare I say it, unlikable? I mean, Grace and Bree absolutely get the short end of the stick here, multiple times. If I were part of that friend group and she pulled the shit that she did in the past 3 days, I would 100% go and kick her ass. Well, anyways, fast forward to the movie and looks like anxiety's planted beliefs are starting to get to Riley, making her uneasy and anxious if she'll make the team or not. So, of course, as any normal teenager would do during any stressful situation, Riley does the most rational thing by breaking and entering on school grounds. What? Yeah, since Riley was so desperate to know her evaluation, she commits a fucking crime and trespasses on private property. Good lord, why the hell does she need to do all this shit to know a coach's evaluation? Isn't that the type of information they're supposed to tell you? Well, one thing we can note though is that though the scope is smaller, the stakes are still pretty high. Yes, in the first movie, Riley stole her mom's credit card and was about to run away, and that was a big deal. But here, give the movie props, you actually really don't want Riley to get caught and get herself in trouble. You know what she's doing is bad, but the movie still does a great job making you understand her current situation. It's not as dire or as deep of an emotional ride as the first movie, but it's still emotional. It still does its job.
Why did she stop? Sadness?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Ah well, GG's, we tried, we failed, better luck next time, bye! Yeah, okay, so turns out Riley had a negative evaluation and isn't making the team. But determined to change Coach's mind though, Anxiety would have an idea. What would be the big idea? Well,
Val scored 2 goals in the scrimmage to become a Firehawk. You know what's better than 2?
3! I was just about to say that. We were about to say that at the same time.
so Anxiety's big grand plan was to have Riley score 3 total goals in their big game. Also, personal taste, I really like this scene.
I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. I don't know how to stop anxiety. Maybe we can't. Maybe this is what happens when you grow up. You feel less joy.
Oh, fuck you, Joy. You didn't have to say all that. Jesus, shit just got real for us adults, huh? As all hope seems lost, Joy's idea to get back to headquarters is to, and stay with me here, blow up the memories stored behind Riley's mind. Hold on, there's more. And ride the avalanche of memories all the way back to headquarters. And guess what? It fucking works! But they find out that anxiety has lost all control and that the crew may have been too late, which results in Riley having a full-blown panic attack. But thanks to some self-reflection from both Joy and anxiety, our heroes manage to calm the storm and save Riley.
Anxiety? You need to let her go.
This whole sequence in headquarters was really well done, and if you're someone who's ever been overwhelmed with emotions, this scene will 100% make you tear up. You wanna know why? Because of this.
Joy, Riley wants you.
Yep. Because in this scene right here, for the first time ever, Riley is in control. Riley wanting Joy shows that she's no longer letting her emotions control her. Instead, she's the one who controls them. An amazing depiction of true emotional maturity. I honestly don't know how to describe it. It's done so well. To the score, the pace, the voice acting, it's just With all that said and done, everything's all fixed. Riley's friends with Bree and Grace again. The emotions all get along now, and Riley's back with Mom and Dad.
So Riley, how was camp?
That was good.
She goes away for 3 days and all we get is good? Yeah, sounds right. Back to the game.
You okay there, Mr. Anderson? Kinda looks like your Disgust is enjoying the best of both worlds there. And finally... Oh no. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was Inside Out 2. Is it as better as the first movie? No. Is it a good movie? Most definitely yes. Is it a good sequel? Pretty much. Though a pretty lackluster second act, some weak jokes, and the lack of new and creative concepts, Inside Out 2 is still cleverly written and a bundle of fun that proves to be a strong competitor for noteworthy sequels. Inside Out 2 finds itself in a rare situation where instead of a sequel being bigger or twice the scale, this sequel chooses to keep everything simple and instead help tell a good story. Though I do have some issues. Anything outside headquarters felt pretty empty for most of the movie, and emotionally, this movie does feel like it's 2 steps behind its predecessor. It's still good, but it never really got to deliver anything as emotionally effective as a character like Bing Bong. It has the heart, but it's just missing some part of it. But overall, Pixar understood the assignment for this one. The characters feel much better and more natural, the animation and visuals look stunning, and the voice cast did an amazing job. Amy Poehler as Joy knocks it out of the park once again. But the true highlight of this was Maya Hawke as Anxiety. I could not ask for a better suited voice than her. Heartwarming, fun, and clever, Inside Out 2 is most definitely, without a doubt, a good Pixar film, which is why I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. That's for today's video. I hope you enjoyed your stay. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!